everyone. So I thought that I would start reading a new book with you guys since last time as a class we read Magic Tree House, Eve of the Emperor Penguin, and so today I decided to go look to see what books I had at home, and I found another Magic Tree House book, and it's the fourth one, and it's called Pirates Past Noon. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to start reading this, and if you'd like, you can listen along with me. I'll make sure to show you any pictures that there are in the book while I'm reading. Alright, and so I'm going to just read one chapter in a video, and then in my next video I'll read the next chapter. Now, I've never read this book before, so I'm excited to see what it's about, and we can explore it together. Alright, so follow along if you'd like. So Pirates Past Noon by Mary Pope Osborne. So chapter 1 is called Too Late. Jack stared out his bedroom window. The rain kept falling and falling. "The TV said it would stop by noon," said Annie, his 7-year-old sister. "It's already past noon," said Jack. "But we have to go to the tree house," said Annie. "I have a feeling the M person will be there today." Jack pushed his glasses into place and took a deep breath. He wasn't sure he was ready to meet the M person yet. The mysterious person who had put all of the books in the Magic Tree House. Now here's a picture on the first page of Jack and Annie looking out the window. Jack sighed. "Okay," he said. "You get our raincoats and boots. I'll get the medallion and bookmark." Annie ran to get their rain gear. Jack reached into his drawer. He took out the medallion. It was gold. The letter M was engraved on it. Then he took out the bookmark. It was made of blue leather. It had the same M on it. Both M's matched the M that was on the floor of the treehouse. Jack put the medallion and bookmark into his backpack. Then he threw in his notebook and pencil. Jack liked to take notes about important things. "I got our rain stuff," called Annie. Jack picked up his pack and went downstairs. Annie was waiting by the back door. She was putting on her boots. "Meet you outside," she said. Jack pulled on his raincoat and boots. Then he put on his backpack and joined her. The wind was blowing hard. "Ready, set, go," shouted Annie. They kept their heads down and charged into the rainy wind. Soon they were in the Frog Creek woods. Tree branches swayed, flinging rainwater everywhere. "Yuck," said Annie. They splashed through puddles until they came to the tallest oak tree in the woods. They looked all the way up. Tucked between two branches was the treehouse. It looked dark and lonely against the stormy sky. Hanging from the treehouse was a rope ladder. It was blowing in the wind. Jack thought of all the books up there. He hoped they weren't getting wet. "The M person's been there," said Annie. Jack caught his breath. "How can you tell?" he said. "I can feel it," she whispered. She grabbed the rope ladder and started up. Jack followed. Inside the treehouse, it was chilly and damp, but the books were dry. They were all neatly stacked along the wall, just the way they had been the day before. Annie picked up a castle book on top of one stack. It had taken them to the time of castles. "Remember the knight?" she said. Jack nodded. He would never forget the knight who had helped them. Annie put down the castle book. She picked up the next book on the stack. It was the dinosaur book that had taken them back to the time of dinosaurs. "Remember?" she said. Jack nodded. He'd never forget the pteranodon who had saved him from the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Then Annie held up a book about ancient Egypt. "Meow," she said. Jack smiled. The Egypt book had taken them to the time of pyramids. A black cat had come to the rescue there. So right there, they're talking about previous adventures that they had been on in the treehouse. Now, all of the books go in order, and so unfortunately I don't have the ones before this. So this one is number 4, but the penguin one we read was about number, I forget what number, but it was like maybe 17 or 18. So this one is way before the Penguins, so they hadn't gone to the Penguins just yet. But if they talk about their previous adventures, that's what it means. So if you are interested in those books, you can get one about the dinosaurs, about the knights, and Egypt. So just in case you're a little confused what they're talking about. Okay, moving on. And here's the book about home, Annie said. She held up the book with the picture of their hometown in it. Frog Creek, Pennsylvania. Jack smiled again. The Pennsylvania book had brought them back home at the end of each of their adventures. Jack sighed. Okay, he still had two main questions. Who was the M person who had put all the books here? And did the knight, the pteranodon, and the cat all know the M person? Finally, Jack reached into his backpack. He took out the gold medallion and the leather bookmark. He placed them on the floor, right over the spot where the M glowed faintly in the wood. Rain blew into the treehouse. Brr, said Annie. It's not very cozy today. Jack agreed with her. It was too wet and cold. Look! Annie pointed to an open book lying in the corner. I don't remember a book being open. Me neither, said Jack. Annie picked up the book. She stared at the picture on the page. Wow, this place looks great, she showed the picture to Jack. He saw a sunny beach, a big green parrot sitting in a palm tree, and a ship sailing on a blue sea. Another gust of rainy wind blew into the treehouse. Annie pointed to the picture. I wish we were there instead of here, she said. Yeah, said Jack, but where is there? Too late, came a squawk. Jack and Annie turned quickly. Sitting on a branch outside the window ledge of the treehouse was a green parrot, exactly like the parrot in the picture. Too late, the parrot squawked again. A talking parrot, said Annie. Is your name Polly? Can I call you Polly? Suddenly, the wind started to whistle. Oh no, we're in big trouble, said Jack. The wind blew harder. The leaves shook. The treehouse started to spin. Faster and faster. Jack squeezed his eyes shut. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. Jack opened his eyes. Too late, squawked Polly. So that's the end of the chapter. So I want you to think of where Jack and Annie will be traveling to in the treehouse. All right? So you're going to make that prediction, that guess, and then next time we're going to see if your prediction was right. All right? So I'll give you a hint because the next chapter, chapter 2, is called The Bright Blue Sea. All right? So I'll see you guys next time when I'm reading chapter 2. Thanks for joining in. Bye.